Hey guys, this is Reina, and you're listening to or watching Lucid Reality. Glad to be back, super excited, and I want to thank everyone who listened to my podcast, the reintroduction. So, we're going to go over a dream that I had in April, and then from there, we're going to go over the research that I found. On 4/18, I had a dream that I returned to an elementary school that I went to growing up, and all the same classmates were there, the same age as I remember them. At the time, we were in fourth grade. I felt much older or my current age, but everyone knew who I was. The teacher greeted me and welcomed me to the class and asked me to find a seat. There were only two seats left, but the one I chose apparently was already taken. So I went and sat in the last one, which was a much smaller desk and chair and was in the far corner away from everyone. I sat on the floor and pulled out my notebook to start taking notes. Two of my classmates gave me their class notes to copy from so I could catch up. For some reason, even though I knew everyone and felt like I knew all the material we were learning in class already, I still felt out of place, like I didn't belong. But I had to stay for some reason, some unknown reason. Class released and everyone was leaving to recess and lunch. I was packing my bag with all the material, but some classmates said I didn't need it and I could leave it there. So I put the folders back and looked in my backpack and found a bunch of small toys in it. I closed the bag and went off to recess and lunch. It felt odd being at recess. I really didn't know what to do. Then I woke up. It was very interesting. We're going to go into the research now. I guess Google now has like an AI where it just like looks up everything that relates to whatever it is you're looking up and it kind of like summarizes it. And the search came up with it could be a need to revisit past experiences, potentially to learn from them or resolve unresolved feelings related to those times, or longing for simple times, or feeling of inadequacy in the current situation you're in. And it says you're carrying unresolved feelings or issues from childhood, feeling unprepared for life's challenges. You're subconsciously recognizing a need to learn new skills or to adapt to new situations in your life. Could also mean you're looking for ways to re-engage with your interests or to find a sense of purpose. Feelings of anxiety, insecurity, or a fear of not measuring up to expectations. This can be especially true if you feel like you're not living up to your potential. Yearning for carefree days of childhood, it could be a way of dealing with stress or pressure in the present by retreating to a more comforting and familiar environment. Can also suggest the potential for new beginnings or a willingness to embrace change. It could be a call to action urging you to take initiative and to move forward in a positive direction. Dreaming about a school you disliked. It may symbolize unresolved issues, anxieties, or desire for self improvement, reflect feelings or stress or a need to move forward in life, seize opportunities, and develop your potential. Could represent a difficult time in your past, and the dream might be a way for your subconscious to process unresolved emotions or experiences. Could be a call to action urging you to learn new things, develop new skills, or become more self aware. Might indicate that you need to overcome some challenges or obstacles to reach your full potential. So those two go hand in hand. They're both saying that I need to, learn new things and adapt and live up to my potential basically. I was at a job that I think I just got too comfortable in it and I was just not really doing much with my life. I did some research, biblical research as well. I just felt like God was telling me that I just needed to take a chance and just maybe pursue something that I wanted to pursue. I did take a risk and I went ahead and quit my job. I'm learning to trust God and have faith in him that everything will work out according to his will. I just need to take action on what it is that I've been wanting to do and things that I've been putting off. Dreaming about old classmates. It could be a longing for simpler times, nostalgia for the past, or need to draw on past experiences to navigate current challenges. Could indicate a desire, those feelings, or a yearning for simpler times. Might represent past lessons learned that can be applied to current situations. The whole nostalgia thing, like, I don't obviously want to reminisce or remember a school that I didn't feel welcomed. I was bullied. Like I was bullied even by the teacher. He was not a good teacher. He made fun of me along with the students. I just felt isolated. Small desk and the small chair may represent a feeling that you're feeling overwhelmed or restricted in your current situation, or perhaps at work or in your personal life. Can represent order, organization, and potentially a need to take a step back and reassess your methods. The smallness could indicate a feeling of being confined or a lack of space for your ideas and ambitions. Struggling to make progress due to limitations in your environment or circumstances might suggest to reevaluate your current approach to work to consider more efficient or organized methods. A need to create a more organized and structured approach to your daily life or work could indicate a feeling that your ideas or ambitions are being stifled due to limited resources or opportunities. May also suggest you're worried about making a significant choice or facing difficult circumstances. So, yeah, basically what I had mentioned earlier, I was being stagnant. Had to reevaluate everything, like this is saying. And I guess in that job, I was just thinking too small. In all reality, I could feel I was unhappy. I didn't feel fulfilled. I felt like there was more that should be going on in my life, more that I could do. And I've done a lot of self-reflection lately and realized, that I do need to be more organized with my life and my work, because there are times where I kind of just let time slip by and I'm not as productive as I should be. Sitting on the floor away from people. It could be a feeling of being isolated, vulnerable, or disconnected from a group or situation, a need for introspection, a desire for quiet contemplation, or a feeling of being on the periphery of social interactions, or a sense of being grounded and exposed. Can symbolize vulnerability and lack of support, maybe urging you to take time for yourself or reflect on your thoughts and feelings or to find a way to connect with your inner self. Could reflect feelings of not belonging or being excluded, might suggest desire to find a place where you feel more comfortable and accepted. Can indicate that you feel you're on the sidelines watching events unfold without fully being involved or included. Can represent a sense of connection to your past or your origins. This might be prompting you to explore your heritage, family history, or personal values. So the next research that I did was choosing a seat that's already taken. It can symbolize feeling a sense of loss of control, like you're missing out on something, or feeling like your efforts to move forward are being thwarted. Might also reflect feelings of being pushed back, struggling with control, or questioning your ability to navigate certain situations. Could reflect self sabotage, where you're unintentionally hindering your own progress or preventing yourself from achieving your desired outcome. Along with what I was going through at work, I was also dealing with some co parenting issues. My daughter is currently living with her dad. She spent the school year with them while I got her, every other weekend, and which sucked, but I agreed to it because I felt like, okay, that's how it was last year with me. I had her for the school year and he had her every other weekend. So I just only felt that it was fair. This year has just been kind of weird without her. It took me, a while to get comfortable with it and not having her with me every day. So yeah, I guess that sense of control that I had was kind of like taken from me in a way. I knew what she was doing, I knew who she was with. She was with me 24/7. And at that time was when I had quit my other job that I mentioned in the last episode, and I stayed home with her. I was a stay-at-home mom. I'd take her to school, I'd drop her off, then I'd pick her up, and then I'd help her with homework, and then we'd spend the day, hanging out at home, making dinner, get ready for bed, yada yada. And then there was also those days where we'd go to fit camp. So it's just like we had a routine, and I was used to her being there along with the baby. And then when the new school year hit, I was overwhelmed and I felt like I could use a break. But after a while, like it was just like, okay, can I have her back? But just this year kind of like gave me some time to really reflect on what it is that I could improve on, things that I have been avoiding, about myself. Now, the backpack full of toys often symbolizes a return to childhood, a longing for simpler times, or a desire to recapture the joy and innocence of youth. The backpack can represent a personal journey, a carrying of burdens, or a sense of responsibility. Small toys often symbolize a carefree attitude, childlike wonder, and a yearning for simpler times. A backpack full of toys suggests a desire to lighten the load, embrace playfulness, or find joy within the journey of life. In essence, the dream might be a message to slow down, re engage with your playful side, and rediscover the simple joys that can bring happiness. I'm always mentally, like before I go to sleep, like my mind's just going, 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 going. I don't really sit down to enjoy life. And I'm always kind of like a negative Nancy in a way. Like I'm always stressing, I'm always worried about something. And that's mostly because of my anxiety. This dream is telling me to take a step back and slow down. And again, just get more into my playful side. Because again, life, I just got to the point where I'm just like, no, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to be this, this, and this. No time for fun. All right, next research is leaving school notes in class. It symbolizes feelings of guilt or unease about a situation in working life, might indicate a desire to communicate something important, but a fear of doing so, or a lack of being unprepared or lacking knowledge. Could be a manifestation of guilt or anxiety related to unfinished tasks, missed deadlines, or a feeling of not meeting expectations. Can also bring up feelings of nostalgia for past experiences or regrets about missed opportunities. In essence, the dream likely reflects a blend of emotions and subconscious thoughts related to communication, preparation, and potentially unresolved issues from your waking life. Literally, I just said that right before. Like I've spent life being anxious a lot. So it was like always, I have to meet this, I have to do this, or else I fail at life. Feeling out of place at recess symbolizes a feeling of not belonging or fitting in with others in a specific area of your life. This could be related to work, social circles, or even your personal development. It can also reflect a lack of self confidence or a sense that you are not living up to your potential. Can be a sign that you need to make a change in your life. This could involve a new career, social circle, or even a shift in your personal mindset. Underlying stress or anxiety. I do need to make a change in my life, and that's what I did. At the time that I wrote this and at the time I did research, I was still working, and I had quit last month in May. I took a risk, giving my faith and my trust in God to, trust that He will take care of me, and this is for the right reason. This podcast is basically just me getting the word out, sharing my testimony. Some people probably need to hear that they're not alone. God is always with you. And sometimes things that God is trying to tell you, you may not understand, but it's all for the good. So, me letting go this job that I recently let go was scary. My financial situation isn't the greatest, but I have faith that God will provide. God will always provide. I just need to have faith. And if any of that relates to, or if there's a dream that you would like me to break down for you, I'd be more than happy to do that. Having my own dreams on the podcast is cool and all, but it would be cool to break down someone else's dream. I appreciate you guys for listening, and I hope you guys have a good night wherever you are, and sweet dreams.